Sony, please stop this mucking around and give us the camera that we're waiting on. We keep hearing reports all along saying it's going to be coming out, Sony AlphaRumors is saying things, other sites are saying things, and then we keep waiting, and then, we get these little hints that something's going to happen, and then nothing actually happens, and it's starting to bug me. I just want them to take my money. Honestly, it's getting to the point now where it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm not quite sure what is going on, because it's interesting. We keep hearing that it's going to be announced very, very soon. And then I've just sort of seen another site that's saying now it's not going to be till next year. So I'm going to have a quick discussion with you about that. The interesting thing for me is I'm not certain whether Sony has been hit by what Fuji announced. Because if you remember, when Sony announced the a7 III, there was nothing out there that matched that camera. Nothing even came close, and Sony really hit that out of the ballpark. And I'm wondering if the same effect has happened with what Sony announced with their Fuji X-T3. In the fact that they've offered the 4K 60p, the focusing is great, the 10-bit out if you go into an external recorder, all these sort of things. I'm just wondering whether that's hit Sony and they've had to sort of push things back and try and produce a camera, even if that's possible at this late stage, to combat what Fuji have announced. And I thought we might have a discussion about that, because I thought it might be a really interesting discussion. I'd love to know what you think about that as well. But let's look at a couple of these articles, because this is what I wanted to talk to you about, was that I think it's this Miss Tanaka, I think it's pronounced, has said it's about time to announce a new APS-C camera. Now, this was on Sony AlphaRumors. This was posted on the October the 13th. So, that was quite interesting. And if you look down at what he's actually saying through here, he's saying for months now, we are going on telling you Sony should announce a new high-end APS-C camera as next, in other words. Well, a confirmation that indeed APS-C cameras will be announced soon is coming directly from the words of the Sony Manager, Mr. Tanaka, in an interview released at Pro News JP, he said. And it says down here, in summary, the goal now was to focus on full-frame cameras to satisfy the demand of customers. And we all know that Sony has been amazing in the full-frame market. And I think a lot of people are saying now that they're really letting the APS-C side down. Look, the a6500 is still a great camera, but if you look at it compared to the Fuji definitely has much better specs than what the Sony a6500 has. And that might be the worrying thing with Sony at the moment, that they always have been one step ahead, and perhaps they're trying to push this camera to be a step ahead again. And that's the interesting thing when you look at this. But basically they're saying, he said the goal has been achieved, in other words, the full frame side, and it's about time to focus on making APS-C cameras. It also says down here that Mr. Tanaka did obviously not hint about the new timing about such a product announcement. All we know for sure is that this is what we expect to be announced as next. In other words, the APS-C. And they're saying in here that they believe it's going to be this Mini A9, and that the specs, basically, they're saying it's going to be 20 frames per second and things like that. We don't know whether it's going to have an articulated screen or what else it's going to have, whether it's going to have the A9 focusing, we don't know, or whether it's even going to be in the same size body as the A9. They're saying it's going to be have the EVF in the middle like the A7 series has. So that's why I suppose they're showing this A7 series body on here. They think that that's what the new APS-C A7000 or A9000 is actually going to be in. So, and they're even saying down here that they believe it's 85% confirmed that Sony is ready to release this. So it really is interesting. So that's what all the rumors are pointing to, is like a Mini A9. And the interesting thing now is, why is it being held up? And if you look at this next site, I just found this, which was Photo Rumors, have actually put a thing on. And what they're saying in there is that Sony has not abandoned their APS-C mirrorless lines, but they're saying new models expected by February to March 2019. So this has pushed it back even further. And that's the interesting part. And down in here, they're saying they translated what that guy said, that Mr. Tanaka, and they're saying that because it wasn't announced at Photokina 218, that it's now going to be pushed basically back to the CP Plus show, which takes place at the end of January, in Japan at the end of February the 28th to March the 3rd. He also emphasised that Sony has not abandoned their APS-C line. Now, that's with them translating the actual discussion that was there. But I noticed in the comments down here that someone is actually saying in here that he's translated the comments as good as he could. And he says that there's no mention there that they're talking about CP+. So again, he's saying that may not be true. But at the end, he's saying it's possible that we don't see anything till CP+ as well. So it's interesting to see what's going on here. So I'm not quite sure now what to expect. I did expect a a7000 to be announced very, very soon, and I'm hoping Sony does do it. They may be keeping really quiet on this and all of a sudden announce it. We did hear the 16th, but that's, tomorrow Australian time, and there's been no more rumours about that. So that's not looking like it's going to happen. You never know, they may just do it, and it might just be announced and released. But usually when these things are going to be announced, you sort of get an inkling because they bring out all of the Sony Alpha photographers and all those type of people out. The journalists will start to go out. So you get an inkling that something's going to be on, and that would give you an idea that something was going to be announced tomorrow. Now, we haven't heard anything about that, so it looks unlikely that it is going to be tomorrow. I am disappointed because I really did think that they needed to answer that, the Fuji X-T3. But if I suppose that they bring out an even better camera and we have to wait a little bit longer, it may be worthwhile. I'm just getting impatient because I really need a camera with 4K 60p. I know a lot of people say no one shoots with that, but I do. And I'm talking about my usage. And I really do want a camera that I can shoot 4K 60p. The reasons why I want that so much is so that I can record in 4K 60p and crop in. Now remember, I do fusion, so I'm doing photography and stills at the same time. So to have that ability to shoot in 4K 60p, crop in and still slow that down for me would be unbelievably useful. I did do that when I had the Panasonic GH5, but obviously shooting fusion, that didn't work for me because the autofocus wasn't good enough. So I am getting impatient, and it is starting to bother me a little bit. I still think this camera is going to come before the A7S III. So now if they're putting that time on there, where is that pushing the A7S III? Because I can't see them announcing this camera and the A7S III at the same time. I mean, can you let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to know your opinion on this as well. I'm not quite sure why they're not releasing anything, unless, like I said, that they've been worried by what the Fuji X-T3 had, and they want to now make sure that they answer that and make a camera that's better. But it's hard to know if they can change what they've already done, because these hardware things are in the line, in that pipeline for a long time. Yes, they can probably add things in firmware and things like that, and they might be able to do minor modifications. But let me know in the comment box down below what you think about. Am I just being a stupid hardware nerdy person that wants this? Like I said, I tried to give you my opinion of why I need it so much, and also an articulated screen would be just incredible for the way I shoot. Now, I know a lot of you don't need that, but I do, being a vlogger type YouTuber as well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all again soon for the next video. Bye for now.